I'm here at the Porsche Center in Bucharest, Romania, where I'm about to take the keys of a brand new Porsche Macan 4, a car that I've never driven before. I typically prefer driving ICE cars, but this is a special occasion and I'm pretty excited to test it on my favorite road in the world tomorrow. That's because Porsche is organizing the Transfagarasan Getaway, the 15th edition of this very special event, and as the name suggests, is going to be on my favorite road in the world, the Transfagarasan Toge. Into our 5-hour trip with the Porsche Macan today, and we stopped for a quick recharge, not because it needed it, just because tomorrow we'll be driving all day up the Transfagarasan Toge, so it's better to be prepared. Otherwise the car could handle the whole trip without having to stop. It's quite an eye-opener, I have to admit. I normally prefer the Taycan, but I can understand how a lot of people would take the Macan over the Taycan, but to each their own. I'm going to drive it on the Transfagarasan Toge tomorrow and let you know how it feels like. As a kid, I used to spend a lot of time playing video games, and of course Need for Speed Porsche was one of them. I would often take Porsche 911 turbos out on the Autobahn, Schwarzwald or the Alps and enjoy some free time, dreaming about that one day I might drive one in the real world. But never did I once imagine that I would drive one on the Transfagarasan Toge in Romania, let alone I'd see Porsche build a special tribute to Transfagarasan edition. We've got 10 of them today to celebrate, and tomorrow we'll be taking them up the Transfagarasan Toge. It seems that most people who opted for this special edition configured the coupe, while this guy went for a Targa. The company only built 10 units of this special edition, and I would choose the Viola purple one because it reminds me of the old 964. I'm here at the Hilton Hotel in Sibiu in what has to be the hottest parking lot in Romania right now. That's because Porsche enthusiasts from across the continent have gathered here for the 15th edition of the Transfagarasan Getaway, a multi-day trip across the country, culminating with a drive up one of the most impressive roads in the world, the Transfagarasan Toge. With all the new cars here, it's still exciting for me to have a look at some of the old girls in the parking lot, like this 993 Carrera here. After the 993 Carrera, I couldn't help but have a look at this very special Trans-Siberia edition of the Cayenne. There are only 200 of these around the world, so this is pretty special to have it here. Across the road, I also spotted this older 911, which takes us back through the ages and makes me feel like I'm playing Need for Speed Porsche all over again. I gave you a preview of this 911 Carrera 4 GTS last night, and it's great to actually see it in the wild. This is one of the 10 tribute to Transfagarasan cars that Porsche built, and right now we're regrouping because we're about to head up on the mountain. Almost a decade ago, 3 influential journalists called this road the most exciting driving road in the world, and this guy helped build that story. So yeah, the question for today is, which of these cars would you take up the mountain? Would you take the Macan? Would you take the 911? Or would you go for the Spider RS? This logo always makes me smile. Right now we're at 2,000 meters above sea level, and as you can see, it's freezing outside despite the sun. We already did the first stint coming in from Sibiu, going all the way up to Bula Lake and then down a few more kilometers. My colleague Gabi drove for the first stint, and then I got up behind the wheel and I had the chance. Right now we're regrouping for 20 minutes. All the cars are parked for the photo and video session. It's a lovely sight indeed, and we'll be going downhill in a few minutes. Back in March, I was lucky enough to go to San Diego to test drive Porsche's new 911 Carrera S. This is a 4S version of that car, and it's in the perfect spec, yellow. I have to say I had my doubts when I heard that Porsche would be releasing a touring version of the GT3, but seeing it up close has really changed my mind. See, I did bring the right car for today. It's a Porsche 911 GT3 RS. The only problem is that it's a Hot Wheels version of the car, so I'll have to do with that. I'm very happy driving the Macan. I can't complain. It's an electric car, it's an SUV, 2 things that I don't really approve of in the real world, but I can understand that this is a very nice car for people who just need to commute from A to B, and it's done a very good job up on the hill so far. I've been spending a lot of time recently looking at Porsches online, and you don't have to be a millionaire to afford the 911. Prices for the 996 and 997 are really affordable these days, and I'm actually considering either one of these or a 996 Turbo in my garage. with increase the rhythm a little bit. There we go. It's so strange being able to use the whole width of the road when it's a public road, because you typically think you'll have someone driving over that side, but there's no danger of that happening today as the road's closed. It only happens once or twice a year, and Porsche owners are very lucky to enjoy this. We've reached the end of this year's edition of the Porsche Transfagarasan Getaway. I have to say I've been pretty skeptical about the Macan, but I'm not so skeptical anymore. That's because range anxiety isn't real. It had absolutely no problems going cross-country with a full tank of gas, so to say. Then charging times were also very impressive, so we didn't have to wait too much to get the battery filled up. Then there's the sporty factor. I took it around the Transfagarasan tollgate this morning. It had no problem navigating through the corners, hairpins at various speeds and various angles of steering. It was pretty impressive for a car this heavy. What can I say? I'm a believer. I wouldn't buy a Macan right now because I would still chase for a 911 and then maybe a Taycan, but I think my wife would really enjoy driving this car around town. That's it for today. I'm off to Bucharest and I'll be back with a full review pretty soon.